Well, it's almost like a hometown for Boom Boom Mancini. First time back for 4 years. Although he comes from Youngstown, Ohio, he's fought quite a bit in Reno. But just look at the Macho man, Camacho, there in this sequin loincloth. He really does dazzle in everything he does, this fellow. And very much a grudge match, this. Can you imagine? Been out for 4 years now, Mancini, a good, ambitious fighter in his day, but he's found a little bit of grip for this because he dislikes Camacho. And Camacho only one fight in the last couple of years, outpointing Howard Davis. But that's not too difficult. My mate Jim Watt did that once. So very much a Mancini crowd here. And although Camacho comes out of Spanish Harlem in New York, he's been training in Florida. And really has been a waste of talent, in my opinion. 34 unbeaten fights, 17 stopped, and still not fighting often enough. Always getting himself in some form of disputes. But he'll do this hit-and-run job now. He proved that with Cornelius Bozer Edwards in Florida. That's how he stole that verdict. Mancini, well, rarely in a dull fight. He's had some absolute beauties. He was a former WBA lightweight champion, and he lost in 2 great battles to Livingston Bramble, and the second one only by 1 point here in Reno back in '85. Retired, went into a bit of television acting, but he's found out that job's not too easy either, so he's getting back to the ring. Camacho, former champion, obviously stripped of his title at super featherweight, 9 stone 4, and now they're up for this light welterweight, 10 stone. And they've added a little bit of a champion, the new WBO, the organisation that's called. But there's a crazy fragmentation of titles at the moment, but nonetheless they've hung a title to this one. So a minute to go then in the opening round. Well, he's done well. It's early to judge a man's condition, really, but the way he's come out firing Mancini, considering he's been out of the ring, he really is doing well in the opening round. He looks full of fire and ready. He doesn't look stale. Sometimes a good layoff can do this kind of fighter a bit of good, who's been in some rough battles in his time. Incredible ones with Bobby Ciccone had. But that's what it's going to be, cagey stuff then from Camacho. Good counter punching by the, I was going to say champion, that he held it last. So Mills Lane, the referee, he's local, works in the district attorney's office. Tremendously popular fighter, this Ray Mancini. So it is Camacho then, ready for the second. All the gimmicks in the hairstyle, isn't it? He doesn't miss a trick, but he can fight a bit to go with it, so you could excuse it a bit. He's got to chase the whole time, Mancini. He knows that he can't back off because Camacho won't come to him, and there wouldn't be a fight at all then. And the Lenny emblazoned on his top of his trunks there, Mancini, is actually his father's name. He was a good fighter in his time and used to spar with Britain's own Jack Kidberg. Considering Camacho was a bit of a firebrand at the start of his career, he's been a pro since he was 18 years old, and he's now 26. He's certainly settled down and got a crafty old campaigner. He was down in his last fight. The first time that he's taken account was against a fellow called Ray's Cruz last June, Camacho. So can Mancini nail him? 10 stone division then. The British champion at this weight, recently won, is Clinton McKenzie. And then, of course, you've got other world-recognised, Roger Mayweather, Juan Koji of Argentine, and Meldrick Taylor, the former Olympian. So there's a lot of money to be earned in this division, certainly for the winner of this. Camacho's been taunting Mancini the whole time in the build-up to this fight. They've done tremendously well at the Lawler Event Centre in Reno, and Reno Tourist Board have put up $600,000 to have it staged here. They resent Las Vegas getting all the publicity. Keep nicking the points, as they say, Camacho, with that southpaw right lead like that. He did that, as I said, with Cornelius Boza Edwards. He frustrated Boza a bit, but they made it a big margin of points at the end, which I disagreed with at the time. Good, smart countering by Camacho, but the aggression often counts on judges' cards, particularly in America. And that's coming, obviously, from Mancini. Bit of hitting and holding there. He was onto that Mills lane. And he can afford to take a bow as he goes back to the corner there, Camacho. And there it is. He's just nicked around the left eye. And there's Lenny Mancini, as I said early on. He boxed with Jackie Kidberg, and I tell you, he adores his son, and I should imagine he suffers as much as Ray in the ring. Out for round 5 then, scheduled for 12. With the, as it is, WBO, the World Boxing Organization, the split away from the WBA, trying to make a bit of a name for themselves. Tommy Hearns won their first championship. And the pattern's been very much the same. Mancini just managing to contain that cut around the left eye, and it's been all the cagey stuff coming from Camacho, but quite honestly, nothing in it. Well, I'm surprised. I thought maybe the comeback of Mancini, well, may have been a bit of a mistake, but certainly after 5 rounds, he's got all the fire in the world. What a great natural fighter he is. Well bred for the game, I suppose, with his dad being a top-class one. About Mancini, he really loves this game and dislikes Camacho intensely, but as I say, coming back from a much softer world of acting, isn't it, you always feel that, well, maybe he's got a bit of the eye lemming content in him. There it is, midway through the 5th. Bit of mauling, but nonetheless a good, hard and competitive fight this. A little bit rough inside. You see, note then how he picks off Camacho. That's where we will be scoring. See, Mancini's eye-catching the way he bundles in, exciting, crowd-pleasing fighter. But Camacho does pick, well, he's certainly share of punches anyway on the retreat. This was a referee, incidentally, that Frank Bruno's manager, Terry Lawless, said he preferred to have handled his fight with Mike Tyson, both before and after the contest. He does that walk away the whole time, very frustrating, really. This Mancini's got to wait for him now to say, well, what are you going to do next? And Camacho doesn't care. He stalls for time and doesn't mind admitting it. Quite outrageous trunks these, aren't they? They look more like a bathing beauty than a fighter. So they want time now to work on Mancini's eye there. And as fighters go, well, that wouldn't be considered very dangerous. And in replay, there again, you see right on the injury there, it looked that right hook of Camacho. And from a different angle. So as I was saying about the counter punches, you see, they count all right. Out for the 7th. And again, fairly seesawed, I would have thought, in scoring. Depends really which way these judges are going to favour either the